Hello everyone, my name is Vlad and in this video I'm going to give you an overview of our Botiga WooCommerce theme as well as our Botiga Pro add-on. Let's have a look at some of Botiga's main features. First of all, you can fully customize your product card by changing colors, fonts, you can sort the elements, you can completely change the layout like this, or you can change the add to cart position. You can enable a quick view. You can also change the layout for your single product galleries, for your cart page, your checkout page. You can also change the position of your badge, fully configure the scroll to tab button. Botiga also has built-in live search functionality for easy product searching. We have a total of 8 header layouts, 3 of them part of Botiga Pro, while the other 5 are free. 3 mobile header layouts, as well as 2 layouts for the off-canvas mail. For your blog archives, you can use one of the 6 available layouts. And as far as colors are concerned, you can use our color palette option to select the colors that best match your website. If you want to define your own colors, we have options ready for nearly every element of the theme. A full set of typography options is also available, as well as an extensive collection of options for your footer. If you're looking for a performant theme, Botiga scores really well across all popular testing tools and also features a very small page load time. For a quick start, you can import one of our pre-made starter sites. Let's check out the Pro features now. We have the product swatch, extra shop header styles, sidebar positions, off-screen, on-screen and hidden, gallery styles, a wishlist feature, sticky add to cart, and more styles for your product tabs. You can use the free version or purchase the premium add-on, which grants you access to all of the Pro features. The fastest way to get started with Botiga is by going to your admin area, go to Appearance, click on Theme Dashboard, and click on Starter Sites. Once you're here, select the demo you want to import, click the Import button, configure your options here, and then click on Import. Once the import process is complete, you can simply head to your front end and check out your new website. We use the WordPress editor for Botiga, so you can go to Edit page, and simply start to edit and add your own content. You can change colors, you can change font sizes, delete sections, you can also add new sections, and so on. Let's have a look at some of the options that are available in Botiga. We're going to start with the general options by going to Customize, and we're going to click on General. We have the background image option, which is the standard WordPress option. We have the scroll to top options for this button right here. You can change the icon, change the radius, position, everything. Also, you can change the styling, like colors, for the background as well as for the icon. And, of course, the size. Next we have the buttons options, a full set of styling options for your buttons, paddings, radius, see how it changes here, font size, text transform, color options, see the background color, the border color, as well as for the hover state. Moving on, we have the modal pop-up, which is a premium feature available only for Botiga Pro. You can enable it like this. And after 3 seconds, it's going to show a pop-up. So you can add content to it. You can set an image if you want. Enable the cookie for it. And choose where you want to display it. Botiga is a theme specifically made for WooCommerce, so it features an extensive set of WooCommerce options. We can locate these options by going to the Customizer and finding the WooCommerce section. Click on it and you'll notice we have a lot of subsections here for various aspects of your online store. Let's start off with the general section here. These are just the standard WooCommerce options. But we also have this for our premium users, which lets you change the style of your quantity inputs. So let's change it to a new one. So you can pick the one you want. Moving on, we have the single products section here. Let's go to layout. Here you can choose the layout for your gallery. We have these options available for free, as well as these options available for our Botiga Pro users. So you just click on the one you want, and the layout changes here. Let's say this. Next we have the elements. With this control you can rearrange the elements like this. You can also disable them, of course. Like let's say I want to hide the meta, I just click here and you see how it disappeared. I want to also hide the divider. See how it goes away here. We have the breadcrumbs option on and off. The tabs, you can enable or disable them. Upsell products, related products also, I can show or hide them. Recently viewed products. For the related products, if you're a Botiga Pro user, you can also enable this slider mode, and you can configure it like this. So basically all my related products are now in a slider. Moving on, we have the sticky add to cart. This is only for Botiga Pro, so we enable it. And it shows up this bar right here. So just some product info and an easy add to cart. Just the name, the price, an image, and you just click to add to cart. This is useful especially if you have a longer product with a bunch of text or images. So you can change its position, top or bottom, like this. You can rearrange the elements. You can also hide them. Let's say I want to hide the image. Just click here. I can change the spacing between elements. And I also can hide it when I scroll up. So when I scroll down, it shows. When I scroll up, it's hidden. And I can also choose where I want to display it, on what devices. Also, we have the product swatch, another Botiga Pro only feature. Let's see how we can configure this one. So right now it's enabled. We need to leave the customizer. Go to the backend. Go to WooCommerce. To products, attributes. And let's say I want to add color here. I'll just put a slug. And from type, this is what is special to Botiga. From type, you select either color or button. I'm going to select color because I want to have color attributes. Click on add. Click on configure terms. So let's say blue. I use the color picker here. And simply click on add new color. Now let's say a red. Select red here. And click on add new color again. Now I go back to my shop. Let's say this product right here. Click on edit. Now it's already a variable product. So I just have to go to attributes. Select the attributes I created. And create some variations. Put some prices. Okay, now let's see my product here. So you can see the colors. If you want, we can go back to the admin area and go to attributes, go to the color attribute, and instead of color I can show it as a button. So I just update here, go back and refresh, and you can see now I have buttons here. This of course work well for sizes like XL, small, or whatever. Let's go back to the customizer now. And continue. So we were here, single products, tabs. This is also only in Botiga Pro. So it basically controls the tabs on the single product interface. So I can choose one of the available styles. I can also change the alignment like this. Also, we have the style options for the single products. You can change various aspects like this. For example, the size for the product title, the color, the price. For the sticky add to cart, I can also change the title of the color, the color of the title, sorry. Tabs also. Let's move on now to the product catalog. So we have layout here. We can control the number of products for each row, like this. It's also responsive. So let's say I want to have one product per row on tablets or mobiles. I can change the number of rows I want for each page, like this. I can change the product gap, so the spacing between products, like this. You can also change the layout to list if you want. So it's basically a list of all your products. If you're a Botiga Pro user, you can also change the shop header style. adjust its alignment, or you can even display categories if you want in the shop header. Also for Botiga Pro we have a larger selection of sidebar options. So like this, with an icon. You can also have some text. We have controls for various page elements. I can hide the title, description, product sorting, the number of results, and of course I can also hide the breadcrumbs if I want. If you're a Botiga Pro user, you also have access to some pagination options like this. You have the default pagination, but you can change it to load more. So it's basically a button, you click on it, and the next set of products fades in. It can also be infinite scroll, which is basically the same thing, but without the button. It just happens automatically. Next we have the product cards. A bunch of options here as well. You can change the layout, you can change the add to cart button location. So right now it's on hover. You can do it like this, so it's always visible. Or it can be an icon, an add to cart icon like this. You can also disable it entirely if you don't want to let people add to cart from the product catalog. There is also the quick view. It's disabled by default, but you can enable it like this. So you just click on it and this pop-up shows up. You can change its location. Next we have the card elements. You can enable elements. You can rearrange by drag and drop. You can hide, of course. Change the alignment. You can also alter the spacing. Next we have the sale tag. You can choose its position, left or right, and control the spacing. You can change the border radius for it. The text. Or you can even display it as like this with a percentage. You can control it, like you can use the value tag like this. Customize your text. Moving on, we have the categories. Here you have to use them if from general you have this setting on. So show categories if you're displaying categories instead of products, like this. So let's go back, product catalog, categories. So from here you can customize these categories. Okay, let's continue with the cart page. Let's just add something to our cart. Need to leave the customizer first. Let's add this to cart. Let's go back to the customizer now. So the cart options are under WooCommerce cart. So you can change the layout like this. whatever you prefer. You can even enable cross sales if you have them configured, or mini cart cross sales. You can make this sticky, so it's not visible now because I don't have a lot of products in my cart. I just have one. But if I were to have a lot of products, so the list is longer here, this would just be sticky. I can hide a coupon form if I want. That's it regarding the cart. Let's leave the customizer now. And go to the checkout page. So just fill in your data and click on place order. Let's see how we can customize this page. Let's go to WooCommerce, checkout. We have a bunch of layouts, as well as the multi-step checkout for our Botiga Pro users. You can show or hide your coupon form. You can make this this sticky right here, so it follows you. You can of course enable the distraction-free checkout, which basically hides the header and the footer, most of the info from the header and the footer, so your customers can focus on finishing the purchase. If you're a Botiga Pro user, we also have the wishlist feature. So let's click on it here. Select the layout, and you see how new options show up. So let's first go back to the product catalog. Reset it to show products. Okay, and now the wish list. We can select one of these layouts here. See, the icon shows up here to add to your wish list, and another icon here. You can enable a tooltip if you want. Of course, you need to add text to it. Like this, for example. You can choose to show it only on hover. And you can of course create a new page for your wishlist. So let's add a product, this for example. Sorry. Let's go back to the main page and let's see our wish list. So here it is. This is the product I added. I can easily add to cart, add it to cart straight from here, and then go ahead and view my cart. So here it is, the product I had previously, and also the one I just added from my wish list. The last thing I want to show you from the customizer, you just have to go to WooCommerce, and this right here, you can enable search. You can enable Ajax on your search fields. So you just click here. You can configure it as you need. Let's click on search and add some text. And you can see how the results show up instantly. And this is it regarding WooCommerce. Let's see what options are available in Botiga for the header area. We can find all the header options in the customizer under header. First of all, we have the site identity section. You can change your logo, change the site title, tagline, customize the logo width, or change the colors for your site title and site description. You can also choose to display or hide the site title and tagline. Next, we have the standard header image section in WordPress. Next up, we have the top bar section. You can use this to add additional elements right here in this area. It can be centered or not. You can add the elements here or on the right side like this. For example, a social profile. See how the icon shows up here for Facebook. There are plenty of elements, of course. Some are for the premium version of our theme, some are for free. You can configure the visibility if you want to hide on mobile devices or hide it on desktop. Next up we have our main header section. We have 5 layouts available for free, as well as 3 for our premium users. You can pick the one you want. You can see the layout changing. Let's say this one, for example. You can configure the elements for it, the additional elements. For example, in this layout, we have the top row, which are these elements here, and the bottom row, these elements right here. So I can, for example, I can add a search icon if I want. I can disable it from my top row. You can add something else like contact info if I want. So I click contact info here, and you're going to see that I have new fields available right here. You can individually disable the cart and account icons. Like if you want to show only the account, only the cart, sorry, you can add like this. And of course, some of the elements are only for our premium users. Now moving on, we have the mobile header, which basically lets you choose a different layout and different elements just for your mobile menu. So let's see how the layout changes for the header. And of course you can add and remove elements. Also you can control the off-canvas layout and the elements available on the off-canvas menu. Like so. Let's say I want to add the button right here. I can just simply click on the button icon. And there it is. As far as colors are concerned, from the customizer we need to go to the colors section. And let's have a look at the options here. First of all, we have a bunch of individual options for various elements like links, headings, form fields. But we also have the color palettes option if you want to change all of these elements at once. So we can click on it and select one of the available palettes. You can see how all the elements change here. If we want, we can also create our own palette by clicking here. And we just choose the colors here, one by one. You can also see how the values for these options update automatically based on what you select here. Okay, so we can control individually. Let's say we want to change this. This is a heading 3 title. So we go to heading 3, click here, and just select the color we want. Please keep in mind that apart from this dedicated color section, you can also find color options for various elements of your website. For example, for your header, you just go to main header, go to style, and you'll find a bunch of colors options here. As well as for the footer, you can go to footer, footer widgets, style, you have your color options here. Also for the copyright area, You can simply change it like this. So just make sure you look in each section for color options. For example, buttons also have color options, and so on. We're going to have a look at the typography options now. From the customizer, simply click on typography, and you'll notice two sections here, headings and body. Let's start with the heading section. Click on it, and you'll notice some options here. First of all, we have the font family option. You can click on it. We can use the search. And you can see the font changing here. Or we can just scroll down. Next up, we have the font weight. Let's say we want the Roboto font. You can see it here, how it changed. The font weight increased. We can change the style, line height. This is just for the headings. Letter spacing, text transform, so capitalize, lowercase, uppercase, decoration, and specific font size options for each type of heading. So this is H3, so we go to H3. Also, we can click on tablet and mobile. So we can change the font size for this specific screen size, like this, for mobile too. Let's go back to desktop, and similar for the body. Let's see here, for example, so the default font family for the body is Inter. We can change it to whatever we want, like this. We also have the font weight option, the font style option, line height, letter spacing, just like we had for the heading, so text transform, text decoration, and the specific control for the body font size, which is also responsive, so you can set a specific size for your desktop, a specific size for your tablet, and another size for your mobile phone. We're going to have a look at the blog options that are available for us in Botiga. From the customizer interface, we just click on blog, and we'll notice two sections here, blog archives and single posts. Let's start with the blog archives. Let's also go to the blog page here. Okay, so first of all, we see the blog layout option. We have 6 layouts available for us here. Let's go through them. So this is basically a classic layout. Again, a classic layout. We have a grid, list. Each of these layouts open up new options. For example, the list layout opens up this image placement option, as well as size and spacing. Other layouts are masonry, like this, and zigzag. Let's go back to grid, let's say. We have various options like text alignment, title spacing. You can toggle on or off the excerpt. You can enable a read mode link. This is basically a link to a single post. You can choose where you want to display your meta, and you can also configure the elements that show up. So let's say I want to show the post author too. You can see right here. or I want to disable the date and author. Enable the categories. You can also drag and drop to rearrange them. And you can choose their position. Like this. You can enable an avatar for your author. You can see here. Configure the spacing. Add the delimiter between your elements, your meta elements, like this. Let's move on to the single post now. So we have 3 layouts we can choose from. Like this. We can enable the sidebar. We can choose its position, left or right. We can use this premium option available only in Botiga Pro, which lets us enable a reading progress bar. So you scroll down and you see this little line here. You can configure the option, change its position. Now for the header, by default it's aligned in the middle, but you can align it to the left. Change the spacing like this. You also have some options for your featured image. You can display it or hide it. You can also choose to display it below or before the post title. You can configure its spacing. And like we had for the archives, also for the single posts, we can enable or disable or rearrange various meta elements. We have this to reading time. This is only in Botiga Pro. Also you can rearrange them like this. Change the spacing. And you can enable or disable various elements like the post tags, an author box, like this here, post navigation, this one right here. You can enable a share box. Just in Botiga Pro we have this option, and a related posts area, like this. If you're a Botiga Pro user, you can also display your related posts as a slider by clicking here. And you can configure the number of posts to show, as well as the number of columns. Now I want to show you one more thing. So if you edit your single post and you're a Botiga Pro user, you can use the table of contents feature. You can just enable it and it will automatically build a table of contents based on the headings you choose here. You have a couple of options like the bullet type and the offset, and you can also add a title for it. Let's see how it works. So let's say heading 3, we update it, and let's have a look at the front end. So here it is, we have a single heading here. So a single heading shows up in our table of contents. You can find plenty of options for your footer area too. From the customizer, click on footer. You can see this section is divided into 2 parts, footer widgets and copyright area. These are the footer widgets and this is your copyright area. Let's see the footer widgets first. First of all, we have a lot of layouts available. You can also disable this area entirely if you want by selecting this option right here. You can see it disappeared. You can contain or make this area full width. You can align it vertically. See how this aligned vertically. You can use the visibility option to hide it from small screens or show it only on mobile and tablet. And here you'll just find some links that take you directly to the widget settings. So you can go here, just add your widgets, or blocks if you're using WordPress 5.8 or above. Now going back to the footer, we also have styling options here, background color, options for your titles, text, links. You can also enable or disable a top divider, which is basically a border here. You can make this border contained or full width, like this. Right now it's full width. You can adjust the padding, column spacing, size of your widget titles, and as I said, the colors here. Okay, now let's go to the copyright area, which is this area right here. So first of all, we have the layout. It can be a single column or two columns. Right now I have it on two columns here. So on the left column I have the social profile, on the right column I have the copyright info. I can make it full width, just like this one right here. And I have, for the free version, I have these two elements, credits and social profile. While for the Botiga Pro version, you can have a bunch of new elements like payment icons, navigation menu, HTML or shortcode. Now let's enable the payment icons, for example. So you can see a new set of options opens up here. Just click on select image. And you can see my payment icons here. I can have them in the right column or in the left column, like this. The social profile, you just add your links, as many as you want. You can rearrange them simply by drag and drop. See how the order changes here. And the credits, you can add your own credits, like this. You can use one of our tags like copyright. You just copy and paste here, for example. This makes the copyright symbol show up here. If you choose the single column layout, it just shows up like this, one after the other. Now we also have styling options like this: background color, text color, links, again a top divider right here. You can change it to be contained or full width. Also top padding, bottom padding, and spacing between the elements.